You have built this routine before, probably more than once. You sat down, you planned it out, you wrote the times and the tasks and the order of everything. It looked good on paper. It felt like the version of you that finally had it together. And for a few days, maybe even a week, you actually did it. You woke up when you said you would. You did the thing you said you would do. And then something happened. A late night, a busy week, one day where the routine fell apart, and then it was gone, like it was never there. And now you're here reading about routines again, which probably means you're about to build another one that does exactly the same thing. So before you open a new note and start writing out your perfect morning, let's talk about why every routine you've ever built has collapsed. Because it's not a discipline problem, it's not a motivation problem, it's a design problem, and the fix is simpler than you think, but it requires you to let go of what you think a routine is supposed to look like. Here is the first thing nobody tells you about routines. A routine is not a schedule. A schedule is a list of times. A routine is a sequence of behaviors, and that distinction changes everything. Because schedules depend on circumstances staying exactly the same. Routines don't. A schedule says you will meditate at 7 a.m. A routine says you will meditate after you make your coffee. The schedule breaks the moment you wake up at 7:15. The routine survives because the trigger, making coffee, still happens regardless of what time it is. This is called habit stacking, and it is the single most reliable way to build a routine that actually holds. Instead of anchoring your behaviors to a clock, you anchor them to other behaviors. After I wake up, I drink water. After I drink water, I make coffee. After I make coffee, I sit for 10 minutes without my phone. After that, I work. The chain builds itself. And because each behavior triggers the next, the whole sequence runs almost on autopilot once it's been repeated enough times. But here is where most people go wrong, even with this. They build the chain too long, too fast. They see the concept, they get excited, and they design a morning routine that is 17 steps long and takes 2.5 hours, and it works for 3 days. Then life interrupts one link in the chain, and the whole thing collapses because the chain was too long to recover from a break. The rule is this: start with 3 behaviors, not 10, not 7, 3. Pick the 3 things that, if you did them every single day, would move the needle most on your life right now. Maybe it's drinking water, moving your body for 20 minutes, and doing 1 focused hour of work. That's it. 3 things chained together. Every other behavior you want to add lives on a waiting list. You earn the right to add the next thing by proving you can maintain the current 3 for at least 3 weeks without breaking. This feels too small. That's the point. Your brain resists routines not because you're undisciplined, but because new routines are genuinely costly to the brain. Every unfamiliar behavior requires conscious effort and decision-making, and your brain is designed to minimize that cost wherever possible, which means a routine with 17 steps demands 17 separate decisions every morning. No wonder it collapses. You're asking your brain to do more deliberate work before 9 a.m. than it wants to do all day. But a routine with 3 steps, 3 decisions that happen in the same order every day, that becomes automatic faster than you'd believe. Neurologically, repeated sequences of behavior build what are called procedural memories, stored patterns that run below the level of conscious thought. This is why you can drive a familiar route while thinking about something else entirely. The behavior has been automated. Your goal with a routine is the same thing. Automate the sequence until it requires no decisions at all. Now let's talk about the thing that actually kills routines. And it's not the days you miss. Missing a day is fine. Missing a day is normal. Missing a day is going to happen, and it does not matter. What kills routines is what you do the day after you miss. Most people treat a broken streak like a ruined plan. They missed Monday, so Tuesday becomes optional. They missed Tuesday, so the whole week is a write-off. They'll start again next Monday, or next month, or when things settle down. And the routine dies not from one missed day, but from the story they tell about what one missed day means. The rule is never miss twice. One miss is an accident. 2 misses is the beginning of a new routine, or the routine of not doing the thing. The moment you feel the pull to let the second day slide, that is the most important moment in the entire process. Not because of what you do that day, but because of what it tells your brain about who you are. Every time you come back after a miss, you send a signal. You are the kind of person who comes back. and identity is the foundation every durable routine is built on. Which brings us to the part nobody wants to talk about. The routine has to match your actual life, not your ideal life, not the life you're planning to have once things calm down. Your life right now, this week, with all its chaos and unpredictability, and the fact that sometimes you don't get home until 9 p.m. and you're exhausted and the idea of doing anything structured feels absurd. Most routines fail because they were designed for a fictional version of your life where everything goes according to plan. Real routines need two versions: the full version, what you do on a normal day when everything is fine, and the minimum version, the floor, the non-negotiable stripped-back version you do on the hard days. The minimum version is not a failure. It is the insurance policy that keeps the routine alive through the weeks where life is difficult. Your minimum version might be just one of the 3 behaviors, just the water, just the 20 minutes of movement, just opening the document and writing one sentence. Not because one sentence is enough to change your life, but because one sentence tells your brain the routine is still happening, the chain is still intact. Tomorrow you can do more. Today you just kept it alive. There is one more thing that most routine advice completely ignores: evening. Most people think about routines in the morning and forget that what you do the night before determines almost everything about what you're able to do the next morning. If you go to bed with no clear picture of what tomorrow looks like, your morning starts in a fog. You wake up and immediately begin making decisions about what to do first, which depletes your mental energy before the routine even begins. The simplest evening habit you can add to any routine costs you 5 minutes. Before you go to sleep, write down the 3 things you are doing tomorrow. Not a to-do list, not a full schedule, 3 things in order. That's it. When you wake up the next morning, your brain already knows what's happening. There are no decisions to make. The routine can begin immediately because the groundwork was already laid the night before. This is the architecture of a routine that actually holds, small enough to be automatic, triggered by behavior, not by time. Designed for your real life, not your ideal one. Protected by a minimum version for hard days, supported by an evening anchor the night before, and rebuilt immediately, never twice missed, every time it breaks. The reason you failed at routines before is not because you lack discipline. It's because you were building skyscrapers on foundations designed for garden sheds. You were designing for the best version of your circumstances instead of the real ones. You were measuring success by streaks instead of by identity. And you were treating a single missed day as evidence that the whole thing was broken instead of evidence that you're human. Build small. Build for real life. Come back every time you fall off and give it longer than you think it needs, because routines don't stick in a week, they stick in a month, and they become unshakable in 3. The version of you that has a rock-solid routine isn't more disciplined than you are right now. They just stopped redesigning the routine every time it got hard and started rebuilding it instead. That's the whole thing. Stop designing. Start rebuilding.